Well, people had to quickly move rooms in the middle of the night at a Groton motel. A fire broke out in the office area of the flagship Inn and Suites. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle heard from guests about what they saw.
Thankfully, everyone made it out of the flagship Inn and Suites when the fire broke out at 1 a.m. and no one was hurt. The people staying in the line of motel rooms when the fire started had to be put in different rooms.
So they just came and knocked on the door, just running down the whole lane, knocking on everybody's door, letting us all know to get out of the room.
Motel guests huddle outside of the flagship Inn and Suites after a large fire started in the office section of the three-building complex. One hotel guest who did not want to give his name said at one point the flames were 30 feet high.
They were almost as high as that telephone pole right there. You can see the telephone pole is burnt. Yeah, the telephone pole is almost went down in flames, but the backside is where we were seeing all the flames coming from. And then, of course, the crawl space and the roof here, that got filled real quick, smoke coming out both ends. So it was pretty intense.
Crews got word of the fire just before 1 a.m. Tuesday. When firefighters arrived, they said the fire covered the building. Pequannock Bridge Fire Department Chief Jeffrey Rayum tells us 10 fire departments showed up when they raised the third alarm.
The first arriving units had heavy fire in those areas, both the office area and those first two rooms to the right there, and they made an aggressive attack to extinguish the fire. We did call a third alarm, which brings in quite a few resources, but they were needed based on the fire conditions that were found when they arrived.
20 guests at the motel had to be evacuated and moved to new rooms. The Salvation Army and Red Cross helped those who lost their belongings to fire, smoke, and water damage.
Everybody got their stuff, and there's some people that are pulling all their stuff out because they're reassigning them to a different room that's got power. I was really glad that these people were here and that the facility is working with us and them to try and make sure everybody is looked out for.
Fire crews conducted an early investigation into the cause of the fire, and they've come up with nothing so far. That investigation now is in the hands of the Groton Fire Marshal's office. In Groton, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.